Leo, welcome to your weekly Sidereal forecast for August 3rd through the 9th. My name is Athen. So we've got a lot of shifting happening this week, and it's involving your 12th house, your first house. We have your sun, so we got your ruler here in the 12th house, so there should be a lot of, this is a resting, you've been in this resting kind of reflective, spiritual, if you will, time, meditative time, which has been for the past year quite expansive for you with Jupiter. And hopefully you've seen a lot of opportunities there to get involved with spiritual matters. But things are definitely expanding for you. You guys are going to have Jupiter going into your first house, which is a subtle energy. It's a very slow-moving planet. A lot of you are already feeling it, have been feeling it for the past month, month or for some of you, maybe even longer. But this definitive shift now into the first, now this month in August, you guys should be feeling quite expansive. And so this is where you can continue to grow and share in the adventurous spirits of life, to maybe do some of that traveling of physically or of the mind, such as through philosophy and astrology and things like that. So that's going to be a shift that's happening this week. Again, it's subtle, but I think, you think you guys will feel this. So right off the bat, though, on Monday, what we have Saturn squaring Jupiter exact. So I've been talking about this very disciplined approach to your communications, your self-expression, writing, reading, whatever it is that you've been involved with in the intellectual side heavily for about the past 3 years. 2 years as of the beginning of last year, 2.5 years from the beginning of this year. It's been 2.5 years. Saturn went back into this third house. So now you guys are finishing up something or solidifying and really concretizing maybe that book you're writing or that course or, that book you're reading, things like that. And so, but especially with the way you're thinking about things and communicating, it's taking that Saturnian approach to it. And all of that is going to be assisting. When you want to take action, you want to get grounded, we'll be assisting this shift and change that's taking place involving your 12th house of spirituality and your first house of self and your assertiveness. So the reason I say that is because of this exact position on Monday with Jupiter, but also the fast-moving planets Mercury and Venus will be going over Jupiter and going into that first house of yours. Well, Venus is going back, Mercury is going into your first. So essentially, right at the beginning of the week, Monday and Wednesday, Venus goes retrograde back into your 12th as she goes over Jupiter. So first of all, Venus rules your 10th house and your 3rd house. So hopefully you guys are reflecting on maybe redoing some things involving your work or career, involving those communications and writing or reading. And that energy now is going into a place where it's more reflective. Okay, so this week it's, take it slow. Get that rest and relaxation with that. You're going to have a lot of planets in that 12th house in this early part, and your ruler is already there. Those shifts and expansions and possibilities are, like I said, they're slowly coming abound, and you will feel them this week, but make sure that you are, taking this spiritual stuff very seriously, because Saturn squaring up to that 12th house is reminding you that there is, it's one thing to have easy spirituality. That's been the past year with Jupiter. But now Saturn comes along and says, okay, you want peace, you want tranquility, you want rest, you want spiritual alone time. Well, it comes with effort. It comes through things like learning about it, which is the 3rd house. Comes through things like, getting very understanding it, conceptualizing it, maybe even doing it on a practical day-to-day level, which is the 3rd house. These are the kinds of energies that are building for you. And you can certainly get that alone time, that rest and relaxation, but do treat it as that learning process and do put in that hard work that is necessary for it. So that being said, Mercury is going to be going over Venus and Jupiter and then dipping into that first house now, where you're going to be learning a lot more about yourself. Jupiter goes in there around that same time. This is about the mid to later part of the week. And so when this happens, there's a lot of this, these possibilities, this expansion with you, like I was saying, but in a very practical sense, right? This is where you're seeing it realistically this week. Mercury squaring Saturn means we see things for how they are, the details, the real raw truth of the matter. So long-term plans, long-term goals, getting very disciplined and structured with these goals, with these things that maybe you're going to be inspired to do, will be very, very important for you, Leos. And then helping you understand more about it with Mercury, understanding more about the self. You guys are coming into perhaps a very communicative, very expressive time, actually. Mercury does like to be in this this part of the chart. It's the rising part. It's like Ayurveda. In the mornings, we have the greatest clarity, and our communications are the best, and that's what this signifies. So can be opportunities with that expansion there. Maybe with the finances, Mercury does rule your second. Okay, maybe with friends and groups, all that stuff can go quite nicely, perhaps. And that's going to be, a strong emphasis and a strong consideration for you Leos, I feel like. So that's going to be the shifts and changes involving that. Now let's look at Mars. Mars is trining up to Saturn this week, especially Wednesday through Friday. And when he does, he goes into the 12th. So where you guys were motivated maybe the past couple months to network or maybe get involved with organizations or groups or spend time with friends, now he goes into a place where it's much more about that rest, that relaxation. So setting goals, setting intentions based on how you can have more peace in your life will be a great way to work with this. Mars is being well aspected by Saturn, so think long term with it. Think discipline, and that'll be a good way to work with it. This is also behind the scenes activities. It's also understanding more about your unconscious, things of that nature. So that's it. Let me go and double check, make sure I've covered everything. The biggest thing here for you is really this 12th house, but this inspiration and working hard towards it, which is Saturn, making sure you're disciplined with it. It's going to be important there. And just continue to reflect on maybe these work career matters, especially what does it mean to you spiritually? What does it mean to you, really deep down inside? And the sun's here helping you really see that, the unconscious mind. It's like a calling. The 12th house is like our spiritual calling almost, in terms of who we are spiritually, because we're all spiritual beings. But now you're seeing this more, not so much practically, but just understanding. All right, Leo, so have a nice week. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you are new to Sidereal Astrology, or if you'd like a personal session, click the link down below, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care.